This video takes a look at the OSD on-screen display menu system of the Samsung S34E790C ultra-wide monitor. The OSD is controlled by a small joystick or jog button that allows easy navigation through the menu. The joystick is located behind the monitor at the far right. So it's a bit of a stretch to get there. If you twiddle this to the left or right, you can set the volume level for the integrated speakers of the monitor or headphones connected to the jack. If you move this up or down, you can quickly adjust brightness, contrast and sharpness levels. Pressing the button in brings us to the quick menu, which allows you to select one of 4 options: PIP, PBP, power off, source, and the main menu. The main menu is split into 5 main subsections: picture, screen, options, setting, and information. As you explore the options, there is some text at the right side of the menu that lets you know what each setting does. In picture, you can adjust key image attributes such as brightness, contrast, and sharpness. You can enable or disable the game mode, which, as noted in the review, massively oversaturates the colours and makes things look quite unrealistic. You can select one of 4 magic bright presets. There is also a colour submenu here which allows you to manually adjust colour channels, change the colour tone to a preset value, and select one of 3 gamma modes. There is a HDMI black level option which is greyed out here as the monitor is connected by DisplayPort. And finally, there is a response time setting which allows you to select one of 3 response time settings. As noted in the review, standard is optimal here. Next up is the screen subsection. This allows you to select the image size when displaying non-native resolutions. There are 2 options here which I'll demonstrate by setting the monitor to Full HD. Auto maintains the aspect ratio of the chosen resolution, whereas Wide stretches to fit the screen. These are explored in more detail in the interpolation and scaling section of the review. There are 2 grayed out options next, H position and V position, which are only applicable to analog connections, VGA, as digital connections automatically center the image correctly. Next, there is picture-in-picture and picture-by-picture. This allows you to simultaneously display output from 2 separate devices. There are various configuration options here which allow you to change how and where on screen different sources are displayed. You can also select which source is used, and which source is used for the sound, whether aspect ratio is maintained for each source, and if you are using the PBP mode, independently set the contrast used for each source. Next is the options sections of the menu that allows you to select language used for the OSD. How long it is displayed before disappearing automatically if no buttons are pressed, and whether transparency effect is used. There is the settings submenu. Here you can change the sound options for the speaker or any connected headphones, adjusting volume, the sound mode, and selecting mono or stereo output. Next, there is eco saving, which basically allows you to select one of two preset brightness settings, one being much dimmer than the other and therefore offering a better energy saving. You can enable supercharging for either or both of the USB ports, which will allow connected devices to be rapidly charged. This functionality is disabled by default, as it can slightly increase the power consumption of the monitor, even if you aren't actively charging devices. You can put the monitor onto an AV mode rather than PC mode, which can be useful for certain devices, and also select which DisplayPort revision is used when connected to a PC. This is there for compatibility reasons, allowing you to select DP 1.1a if your device doesn't support DP 1.2. You can manually select the input source used by the monitor, or allow the monitor to automatically set the source for you, and change how the OSD reacts to movement of the joystick, particularly if you're holding it down to quickly cycle through the settings. You can activate the off timer feature, which will make the monitor switch off automatically after a period of use between 1 and 23 hours. You will be prompted up to a minute before it's going to go off, so you can cancel the setting if you want to stay on instead. You can also make sure that the small blue power light is illuminated when the monitor is switched on rather than when it's on standby, if you prefer it to have this more traditional setting. There is also a reset all option to return the monitor to its factory state. Finally, there is an information subsection, which tells you some key information about the monitor, including its model number, how it is connected, and the resolution and refresh rate being used currently. This is Fran for PCmonitors.info, and don't forget to check out the full review on our website.